70,000 years ago, we were just another species of animal, insignificant, struggling for survival in a harsh world. Today, we control the planet, fly through the skies, split atoms, write poetry, and edit genes. How did we get from there to here? This is the story of Homo sapiens, us, as told by historian Yuval Noah Harari in his global bestseller, Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind. It's a sweeping narrative that explains how we rose to dominance and what that might mean for our future. Let's journey through the key ideas of this fascinating book. Number 1, the cognitive revolution, how we learned to imagine 70,000 years ago. Around 70,000 years ago, something changed in the brain of Homo sapiens. We developed new ways of thinking and communicating. This shift, called the cognitive revolution, was the first major turning point in our history. It enabled us to create and understand complex language. Imagine things that don't exist, like gods, nations, and corporations. Cooperate flexibly in large groups. Before this, we were limited like other animals, relying on immediate needs and direct relationships. But now we could share stories, myths, and beliefs. This gave us a superpower, shared imagination. Harari argues that fiction stories we all agree to believe allowed humans to cooperate in ways no other species could. These stories could be about tribal spirits, moral codes, or political ideologies. Once people believed the same stories, they could act together, even with strangers. Money, religion, corporations, and even nations are built on shared beliefs. That's why Harari says there are no gods in the universe, no nations, no money, no human rights, except in the common imagination of human beings. Number 2, the agricultural revolution, the biggest fraud in history, 10,000 years ago. For most of history, humans lived as hunter-gatherers. But around 10,000 years ago, the agricultural revolution began. We domesticated plants and animals, settled in villages, and began to build civilizations. It sounds like progress, but Harari calls it history's biggest fraud. Why? Harder life. Farming made people work longer and harder than foraging. Poor diets. Dependence on a few crops, like wheat or rice, led to worse nutrition. Disease and inequality. Settled life brought crowding, disease, and social hierarchies. Population boom. Farming fed more mouths, leading to larger populations, trapping us in a cycle. So why did we stick with it? Because agriculture allowed more people to survive, even if their lives were worse. It was evolution at the group level, not individual happiness. Number 3, the unification of humankind, empires, money, and religion. After agriculture, humans began to live in ever larger societies. Villages became cities, cities became kingdoms, and kingdoms grew into empires. Despite wars and conquest, there was a hidden trend: unification. Harari identifies 3 key forces that have united humans across the globe. 1. Money, the universal trust system. Money is a story we all believe in. Whether it's shells, coins, paper, or digital digits, money allows strangers to cooperate by trusting its value. It's the most universal and efficient system of mutual trust ever invented. 2. Empires, creating unity through conquest. Empires get a bad reputation, and for good reason: slavery, colonization, violence. But they also played a role in spreading culture, language, religion, and technology. Many modern ideas, laws, writing, bureaucracy developed under empires. 3. Religion, meaning, and morality. Religion helped bind people together with shared values and moral systems. As societies grew, religion evolved from local spirits to universal orders, like Christianity, Islam, and Buddhism. These religions claim to offer a universal truth, which helped spread shared norms across huge territories. Number 4, the scientific revolution, 500 years ago. Until about 500 years ago, most people believed everything important was already known. The scientific revolution changed that mindset. It began when people started to admit they didn't know everything and believed it was worth investigating. This led to a cycle: research, new knowledge, new power, new problems, more research. Science and imperialism grew hand in hand. European powers used science to explore, conquer, and exploit. In return, empires funded more scientific discoveries. Think of Columbus's voyages or the British mapping of India. They weren't just about curiosity, but control. The rise of science also enabled capitalism. Credit, investment, and economic growth became central ideas. Entrepreneurs, bankers, and inventors took center stage. This was a major shift. Wealth was no longer about owning land, but about creating new ideas and technologies. Number 5. The Industrial Revolution, 200 years ago. The Industrial Revolution transformed the world. Humans learned to use external energy sources, especially coal and oil, to power machines, factories, and transport. This changed everything. Work moved from fields to factories, cities exploded in size, goods became mass-produced, travel and communication accelerated, but it also brought new challenges: pollution, inequality, urban misery, and eventually climate change. Industrialization didn't just produce things, it produced desires. The modern economy runs on consumption. We're constantly told to buy more, do more, travel more. But does that make us happier? Harari suggests the answer is not really. Human happiness has not necessarily increased, even as material wealth has exploded. Number 6, the Humanist Revolution, new ideologies for a new world. With traditional religions losing ground, a new ideology took over: humanism. Humanism says that meaning comes from human feelings, not divine commandments. It puts the individual at the center. There are different forms: liberal humanism, you are special, trust yourself; socialist humanism, you are special, but so is everyone else; evolutionary humanism, the fittest should survive and improve the species. Harari explores how this shift redefined morality, politics, education, and even art. Number 7. The present and the future. Are we becoming gods? Harari ends with a provocative idea: we're on the verge of becoming gods. With advances in biotechnology, AI, and genetic engineering, we may soon be able to eliminate diseases, extend life indefinitely, enhance intelligence and bodies, create artificial life. But here's the paradox. We are more powerful than ever, yet we're still unsure what to do with that power. What do we want to become? This is the central question Harari poses. Now that we can shape life itself, what do we want? Do we aim for happiness, immortality, divinity? Are we wise enough to wield the powers we're creating? The book ends with this chilling reminder: we're very good at creating tools, but we're not so good at understanding ourselves. Sapiens is not just a history book. It's a mirror. It helps us understand how we got here, what we believe, and why we live the way we do. Harari doesn't give easy answers. Instead, he invites us to question everything we take for granted: our identities, our institutions, even our sense of meaning. In the end, the book reminds us of one truth: humans are the storytelling animal, and the stories we choose to believe will shape the future we create. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this summary, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Sound of Books.